My name is Robert Cunningham. I am the interim headmaster of Trinity Christian Academy. When you survey the landscape of private education in the United States over the past 10 years, the unmistakable trend is a decline in enrollment. Private education as a whole is down somewhere between 13 and 16%. But over that same time period, there is a noticeable exception to that trend, and it is classical private education. People are returning to it as a model that has really stood the test of time and proven to be an effective way to do education. And it's this classical model that really sets Trinity apart as an education institution. We are the only classical Christian day school in the city that is accredited. And so the classical model is something we're very passionate about here at Trinity. But what is this classical model? The best way to conceptualize the model is by the imagery of a tree. A tree was Jesus' favorite way to illustrate the idea of growth, whether that be the growth of His kingdom or the growth of His followers. And we like to use it to illustrate growth within the classical model. The first phase of the classical education model is referred to as the grammar phase. This takes place from pre-K through 5th grade. It is the foundational stage where we are laying the roots of the classical education tree. Here, children are young and full of curiosity and a thirst for knowledge. They are like little sponges, able to learn and retain a wealth of information. And we capitalize on that through creative activities, imaginative training, and critical memorization. The second phase is the logic phase. This is grades 6 through 8, where we take the foundation that has already been laid and begin to explore it. At this stage of development, children are naturally argumentative, not in a negative way, but in an explorative way. It's not enough simply to know information. They want to know the why behind information. We capitalize on this inclination through interactive discussions, inquisitive projects, training in formal logic, and the art of critical thinking. This is the trunk and branches of the classical education tree, where the foundation that was laid grows into a strong and sturdy tree. And then finally, once students reach high school, we are into the rhetoric phase of classical education. It's now time for the tree to bear the fruit of the classical model. In high school, students become far more self-aware and conscious of how they are viewed and what they are communicating, and we tailor their education accordingly. At this point, they are not just learning truth, they are owning it as their own through internalization, application, and communication. The culmination of the rhetoric phase is the senior thesis. Students thoroughly research a topic, craft a persuasive thesis, and then argue their thesis before a panel of experts, a vivid display of foundational roots now bearing meaningful fruit. But the greatest fruit of classical education is not found in a thesis, test scores, or any other assignment, but in the lives of young men and women equipped for a lifetime of wisdom and virtue. And so that's the classical model. But the best way to get to know classical Christian education is to come see it in practice for yourself. I want to personally invite you to give us a call, schedule a tour, and come imagine the impact Trinity could have on the education of your children.